Myths and legends. Things that chill our bones and tickle our curiosity. Reality, or just something we inherited through history. Are you ready to find out about something new? Imagine a picturesque hill surrounded by forests, other small hills, and never-ending sky. It is the quietest and the most beautiful piece of nature you have ever seen. It has been here before people came to the land. But it wasn't uninhabited. On the contrary, it was filled with life. Everyone knows stories about fairies. They are beautiful magical creatures in the form of young women. Although mortal, they live longer lives than humans. They are mostly shown through the popular media as women with wings, but fairies actually come in many forms. Some of them are metamorphs who change their appearance into small animals. Fairies influence the nature, so they are often linked to extreme weather or plentiful crops. But today, our main topic isn't just fairies. Our main story revolves around the place they are born. In the heart of Croatian Zagorje, you will find a hill called Viljak, or roughly translated, Fairy Hill. The story it holds is sad, but terrifying at the same time. Once upon a time, there was a birthstone placed on the top of Viljak. No, it wasn't a jewel. It was a seemingly plain stone, but it held the old world's magic. It is said that this stone never dried out. No matter the season, the very birthstone was always covered with droplets of dew. In the first night of the young moon, fairies would be born out of these droplets. The legend says that they weren't born alone. A beautiful fairy princess named Zora was the guardian of the birthstone. It was a high honor to be the guardian of their kin, but at the same time a very lonely existence. As a fairy princess, Zora was granted the longest lifespan. It is said that she was 300 years old when the first man came to Viljak. One day, a young man named Jagor got lost in the woods and accidentally ended up at the top of Viljak Hill. Not knowing what men are, fairies got scared and quickly turned into hundreds of beautiful butterflies right before Jagor's eyes. All fairies except one. Beautiful Zora stood right by the birthstone and was ready to defend it with her life. The story says that Jagor and Zora looked into each other's eyes and immediately fell in love. From that moment on, Jagor would spend every single day with Zora, keeping the secret of the birthstone from other men. But their love wasn't meant to be. Fairies weren't born anymore because of the fear of men, and Zora's love to Jagor was so strong she stopped caring about her own kin. One night, Mother Nature got so angry with Zora, she cursed her and turned her into a snake. The next day, Jagor came to Viljak to see Zora, but she was nowhere to be found. He sat on the birthstone, crushing the dew droplets. In that moment, a snake crawled from underneath the stone. Frightened and disgusted, Jagor suddenly stood up and in his rage crushed the snake's head with his foot. It is said that in this moment dark clouds covered the skies, bringing down a hailstorm no one has ever seen. The ice pieces were so big they killed Jagor within minutes, bringing revenge for the murdered fairy princess. With time, people inhabited the Viljak Hill and fairies disappeared from it, not having their princess to watch over them. But every now and then, they will return with devastating hail, destroying vineyards men had planted there. It is even said that their song can be heard in the nights of the young moon, a song followed by revengeful acts. For the end, you will hear a true story about a man who had a close encounter with fairies. As always, the name in the story will be changed.
It was a warm summer evening. when David met with his friends. They made some barbecue and played cards until 10 p.m. After his friends went home, David decided to clean the mess they made and watch something on the small TV he had in his vineyard cottage. He laid on the bench and fell asleep. It was exactly 3 p.m. when he was awoken by a strange sound. In the silence of the night, the only thing he heard was a soft song, as if an assembly of women were singing somewhere in the forest nearby. It was a soft song, mesmerizing and somehow enchanting. David slowly walked out of his vineyard cottage, and out of no reason started following the song. He later said that it reminded him of the tales about mermaids. As if he was hypnotized, he walked towards the sound, and as he walked closer, the sound became more distant. Soon the song just stopped, and its spell got broken. David looked around and noticed that he was in the pitch of darkness in the middle of the forest. He didn't know how far he walked, or in which direction. Suddenly panic overcame him, as dark clouds started covering the sky. Out of nowhere, thunder filled the air and heavy rain started falling. Scared of being amongst trees in thunderstorm, David started walking faster. Within seconds, his clothes and hair were soaking wet. Hours passed by, but he couldn't find his way out of the forest, and the rain's intensity didn't stop. The only thing he heard from time to time were soft giggles in the distance, as if someone was mocking him. Finally, the rain stopped at dawn. David was exhausted and shaking cold. After hours of wandering through the woods, he finally found his way back and rushed home.
So, there you have it. Viljak and Vile. Myth or reality? Just a sad story about a love that wasn't meant to be, or an example of some unwritten history. Be sure to stay safe in the nights of the young moon, and remember, there is always something lurking out there in the darkness, waiting to mesmerize you with their song. Hi people! So as usual, thank you so much for liking and sharing, and please continue to do so. And we won't bring a hailstorm to you if you subscribe. Shall we spare them this time?
Never.
Never? But we're
Never.
not fairies.
I said never.
Okay, sorry. So guys, this has once again been one of Croatia's myths and legends. My name is Jelena Hrvoj.
And I'm Daniel Fiket.
And that's it for today and for this week. So, bye guys!
Bye.